I definitely feel that I'm able to improve as a scholar and a writer because of departmental support, definitely. This is my 4th year here, and I feel worlds smarter than I did when I came in, and I would say that that's pretty directly a result of the involvement of professors and fellow students in your studies. I think my friendship with creative writers is especially helpful for me as a lit student. It adds, a completely different layer of thought and analysis to my work. I definitely think the program's adequately preparing me for a career in my field. I think how the program is scaffolded forces us to be prepared. So after going through coursework and then the comprehensive exams, we really have to become experts in our own field, and we have to be accountable for that because we're tested on it. So I just recently went through comps, and I feel amazed by the amount of knowledge that's in my head. And so the scaffolding of this program definitely helps to prepare for the future career.
Before I even applied to the University of Southern Mississippi, I'd read works from a number of different fiction writers who had taught here previously. So I would see in authors' bios and books, so-and-so lives in Hattiesburg, Mississippi and teaches at the University of Southern Mississippi. I feel very fortunate to be working with such accomplished faculty.
One of the things that made me choose this program as opposed to just doing another program that was strictly artistic was because I wanted to develop more as an academic, and I feel that there is an emphasis here on also learning the academic sides of things, even though I am a creative writer. And so I feel that I've been well supported with that as well. My other department responsibilities, I hope, are shaping me into an all-around sort of an academic. I definitely feel that the work that I've done in practicum, the feedback that I've gotten through having other people observe my teaching, studying teaching pedagogy carefully, this is already helping me to be a better teacher. But also, when I speak of being, more of an all-around academic, it helps me to learn how to juggle responsibilities instead of just being a student all the time. It's sort of helping me to put things in my life in perspective better all around. The experience that I've had that stood out most would be when we had a visiting writer here, Michael Ferris Smith, who led a workshop, and one of my stories happened to come up that particular week. And it was great to have an outside writer as a resource for reading and talking about my work. And it was also nice to have so many other people, classmates of mine, reading and responding to my work in so much depth. It was a really good experience.
We have the reading series at coffee shop / record store / where you hang out. And it's called T-Bones, and we go there about once a month, and we have a graduate reading series where a lineup of creative writing students will read their work, which is a great opportunity for networking, because they're really well attended. Pretty much the whole department shows up for that, and even some people from the community at large will be there, and so you get to read your work in front of a lot of people here, and it really kind of fosters a sense of community and like we're all in this together. It's good to be in workshop with with a bunch of different really talented writers who are all kind of working on different things and in different styles and aesthetics, and I feel like that's encouraged here. We're all sort of supposed to be doing our own thing and figuring out what we do well artistically. And to me, that's helpful. It's helpful to engage in a deep and intense way with people who are writing totally different kinds of fiction than me. And on the flip side, to have them try to engage with my work so I can hear all these different kinds of perspectives. I've had the opportunity to teach a lot of courses here, and that's invaluable. Every semester, just about, I've taught at least one course that's new for me to teach. I've taught everything from different levels of composition to a fiction workshop to world literature. Next semester, I'm teaching a literary analysis class. So that experience is, is invaluable, and it's also, a large part of what I want to do professionally.
Teaching here has done wonders for me personally and professionally in helping me decide what it is that I want to do with my life post-USM. I came here having gone to Princeton undergrad, and I think that my idea of what education looked like was shaped in both good and bad ways by that. I think I sort of assumed that I would be teaching students who were exactly like me, and when I got here I realized that I was teaching a variety of students, some who are very knowledgeable in English and then some who were struggling and needed my help more. And so it's been wonderful learning to meet the challenge of teaching people who have a broad range of experience and knowledge with English, and that honestly has allowed me to realize where exactly I want to go post here. I think class variety is amazing. This has forced me to take things that I probably wouldn't have taken otherwise. I think the notion I had in my head is that the higher up you go, the more you start to specialize, and so I realized that while children's lit may be my chosen field and niche, it's been great actually taking classes outside of the comfort zone and forcing me to read things that I probably wouldn't have looked at again post-high school or undergrad. My children's lit class with Eric Tribunal I took in the fall of my first year here. That was fantastic. I took a class on women and poetry with Dr. Jordan, which was challenging for me because I knew absolutely nothing about poetry, but it was a wonderful learning experience and forced me to think on my feet a lot more. When I came to USM, I thought that I wanted to go back to the Ivy League and teach. That's what I always assumed that I would do. And coming here has made me realize that I would be far more valuable elsewhere, because there are students who could actually use my help and need my help. And I was talking to one of my students who said, "You are the first person who's ever encouraged me with English. You're the first person who ever told me that I was good at this or that I could be good at it. I had horrible high school experiences and thought that I was never able to do this, and having had you in class, I've learned that I can." And that is a feeling I really cannot describe. It was heartbreaking to me, and it was also affirming that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and that USM has helped me do it.
The relationships I formed here in terms of the faculty and my peers have been invaluable. You're connected by your passions that are driving you professionally, and so I made friendships with people, and then we are connected. We have such a tight bond, and we're connected solely by our professional interests, whereas maybe in the outside world we would never connect, or our personal backgrounds, our social backgrounds don't correspond really, but we're able to, I have such close friends here that we're completely different people, but because of our passion for certain types of literature and scholarship, we connect on this interesting level.
There is a lot of school spirit within the university. I'm probably one of the biggest senses of school spirit of any of the colleges I've ever been to. Within the program, it's a lot, because we're so small in a sense, it's kind of like a family, and so I've actually met a lot of my really good friends here. And just being able to have someone to kind of bounce off our ideas and have someone that's also passionate about literature like you are, you can have a support system. Hattiesburg is kind of a little hip area, I would say. It's kind of a little oasis in Mississippi, and it's very welcoming to a lot of different people. Whether you're into art, music, whether you are a fan person, there's something here for everybody. And also the fact that it's so close to the coast. I mean, you got New Orleans, you got Mobile, you got Gulfport, Biloxi. So it's you're only an hour away from stuff. If you can't find something to do here, you can be there in an hour and find fun.
Huge variety of classes here at USM. I took an Arthurian literature class. I took a class on the history of the English language, and it seems like they're starting to develop into other areas. There's sort of a popular literature class next semester. I think it's covering sci-fi, which is really interesting. But then, of course, there are the classics. You've got your Shakespeare and your Victorian, so it's just you've got a smorgasbord of classes to pick from. So, I mean, if you ever find yourself not knowing what to take, you gotta expand your horizons and take something that you wouldn't expect to take. My favorite classes were probably the fiction writing classes, just because I identify as a writer more so than a literature person. But I mean, there's something you can remember about each and every one of the classes you take here, because they're all unique and special. Every year they put out, someone in the English department puts out this magazine called Product, and undergraduates and graduates can submit their work to it and try to get published. And in my senior year, I was finally accepted into the magazine, and I was published, and I was able to put that on resumes and send that out to be like, look what I did, and it's all thanks to the university. So this is a very social program and university. I've heard stories of some campuses or some programs where you're like in competition with your peers, and that's not the case here. You know, we talk about what we're working on to sort of like sounding walls or work out problems. I came here like a little shy caterpillar, and now I am the confident social butterfly that you see before you.